So Vandana just wanted me to present some tricks and tips for what I call the gram. So I'm, full disclosure, I'm 40. And so I like to call things that the young kids are using with the word "the" in front of them, because I think it's funny to just be old. And so I call it the Instagram, the Facebook, the Twitter, the Twitch, but don't do that. That's not cool. Just call it Instagram. So we're specifically talking about Instagram. Can I go forward? So just to give you a little background on myself, this is a little about me. You will find my handle here. This is a handle on Instagram. So it's how people find you on Instagram. And I'm at Cory Finds Your Vibe. If you're on Instagram, you can find me, follow me, see what I'm doing, and kind of steal some ideas. Here's my phone number. If you need to reach out, you can call me, you can text me. I'm a daughter, I'm a friend. I founded the directory here in the Valley about 5 years ago. I'm a wife, I'm a mom. I'm obsessed with the Gilmore Girls, and I am exclusively fueled by tacos, cookies, and coffee. So if you ever want to send me any of those, I will gladly accept. So I also wanted to say that I am not by any means an expert on this. These are the two women that I have counted on to make me an expert. So this is Candace. She teaches a class called Content Creation Made Easy. And she is where I kind of formed the basis for my content on social media, period. And if you want to follow her, she has a Facebook group. So we're kind of seamless between the two platforms. And she has a Facebook group called Elevate with Candace, where you can get all of her tips and tricks, and she has a lot of valuable content there. And then the other woman that I get this information from is, her name is Shannon Lutz. She's over here on the right. And she has a class called 5-Figure Instagram, which is where I learned really to how to change Instagram sort of into a moneymaker for me. And she has a Facebook group also you can jump into called the Social Bungalow Community, hosted by Shannon Lutz. So there's nothing new under the sun, as you all know. You know, I'm a teacher, former teacher, and basically we just all steal ideas. So I want to, but I'm a historian by trade. And so I always want to make sure I cite my sources and make sure that you guys know where I get my information from, so I'm not plagiarizing. So continuing on, a few things I wanted to discuss before we go into the stuff is just an overview of what we're going to talk about today. But first and foremost, why the gram? So this came up, this whole conversation came up a few weeks ago when I hopped on one of the brokers' meetings and was just hanging out and chatting, shooting the poop. And Chris, someone mentioned Instagram. And so we got into a conversation about why Instagram or Facebook or TikTok or any social media platform. And I think the most important thing in talking about any platform is where does your audience live? So I feel like as agents, we can easily get very sidetracked by shiny things and squirrels very easily. And so I don't want you to get sidetracked by Instagram if it's not where your audience lives. Spend your time and your money where you're going to get a good return on investment. So personally for me, my audience lives on the Instagram. So they are women between 25 and 45. That's my target demographic. And that's where they are. And also it's fun for me. If Instagram is not fun for you, if it's boring or tedious, screw it. Like, it's not worth your time and energy. There's a lot more things that you could do in your business that is going to give you a better return on investment. So just think about that as you're thinking about taking on a new thing, because I will tell you, once you go down a rabbit hole, this one especially, you're going to be down it for a while. So we're going to talk about 3 things today: Instagram posts, Instagram hashtags, and Instagram stories. That is kind of the gist of the platform itself. So let's first talk about Instagram posts. So 3 things about Instagram posts. Number 1, I'm a mom, so plan the play and play the plan. If you guys watch Sesame Street, there's this little ditty song that they talk about, plan the play and play the plan. So all I mean by that is just make a plan for your content, period. Don't waste your time just throwing out posts when it comes to your business. You want it to be relevant. So here's how I plan for my posts. And by posts, I mean, just to give you an idea, by posts, I mean this stuff. They're static pictures that have captions underneath them, and you can double tap to like them, and you can save them right here, save them. So if it has good content, you save them, or you can share them with other people. Okay, so that's what I mean by posts. So posts are static pictures. They can also be videos that live on your account. So when people go to look at your account, they will see kind of a gallery of photos that are yours. Now, a lot of people have really pretty Instagrams. I'm not at that level yet, okay? They're like a magazine. And I think it's really important. I heard another social media expert explain it like this page of yours, these posts are a magazine of your business. So this should give people an idea of what you do, who you are, and why you do it in your gallery, okay? So number one, make a plan for that. The way I plan for that is I use my brand statement. I use my brand statement. So my brand statement drives my business and it drives my posts. So my brand is specifically focused on buying and selling homes, home vibes, right? Interiors, cool interior design pieces. And then specifically I focus on women in my brand. So all of my posts generally have to do with one of those three things. And then the other thing that I do is I use a schedule. So I schedule my posts. It just helps me. Some people don't, some people do. You don't have to. It just helps me to like make sure that I'm hitting all of those things on a weekly basis. Also, don't get overwhelmed. If you can only do one post a week, do one post a week. Just be consistent. The second thing about posts is people want to see you. I know you're like, no, nobody wants to see me. I don't look good. Yes, they want to see you. You are your brand. So the comments and the comments I get, the posts, the likes that I get are on the posts that my face is in. So show up, take a picture of yourself, take a selfie in front of a house. People want to see you. So bottom line, that's what it's about. You are your brand. And then number three, be authentic. Like I said, if you can only post once a week, post once a week. And if it's going to be something that is relevant to your business, make sure your face is in it. So face is in it, relevant to your business, and post what you can handle, what you can take on. Okay. All right. So that's Instagram posts. Again, we can come back to that if you guys have questions. Second thing, this one is the rabbit hole that you will go down. Second thing is hashtags. So people are like, what are hashtags? And I see a lot of people that use hashtags on Facebook. Hashtags don't really help on Facebook. Hashtags came from Instagram. It's basically an Instagram search engine. So it's a way that people search the whole Instagram, and it's the way, here's the key, that they find you. So what I did is I want people, all these people that are on the gram, I want them to find me. So I started developing 60 hashtags that help people find me or find things that are relevant to my business, so that they will hopefully funnel back to me and ultimately follow me, learn to know, like, and trust me, and then give me their business. So what I would say about this is I can help you with this. This is a deep dive, but start searching for things by hashtags and think about what people in Las Vegas who want to buy and sell property would be searching for on the internet. And those are the types of things that you can turn into hashtags. And hashtags, just to give you guys a picture, hashtags are at the bottom of your post. So those are hashtags right there. So they're at the bottom of your post. Each post can take up to 30. I have 60 that I use, and I alternate and I like kind of cycle through those. But 30 is the opportunity that you have to capture the audience that's out there and draw them to yourself. Okay, next is when you're using hashtags, you want to do a data drive-by. So you want to pay attention to how your hashtags are driving your data. So if you look at your Instagram page, and if you go to this little, what I call the hamburger at the top, and you click on it, one of the options you have here is Insights. If you click on Insights, you can see how your posts are performing. And this is really cool. So you can see how many people liked your photo or your post, how many people commented on it. This wasn't a very good one. How many people shared it, and how many people saved it. And then as you scroll down, like I said, this is very deep. You can get into a deep dive with how many actions were taken. What actions do we want to take as real estate agents? We want to drive people to a place where we can capture their data. We want to be able to capture their email address and their first and last name. So that's the goal with our posts, is that we drive data so that, and it's a good post so that people click on our link, click on our bio, and add their email to our list. That's the goal. So I look at those often. Sometimes you can get it kind of crazy with data, but if you're a data head like me, you like to just look at it a lot. So maybe look at it maybe once a week, maybe every quarter as you're looking back on your business plan and marketing plan, look back on what you're getting the most ROI from, and make adjustments. Quarterly is what I make adjustments on those hashtags. So I'm seeing that some of my hashtags aren't giving me the return that I want. So I might go and change those out in the next quarter. Okay, and then this third thing, because of the algorithm with Facebook, is use something to scramble your hashtags with every post. So just mix them up. And I use something called hashtag shuffle. You can put them in there and you can shuffle them up. So hashtags are complicated. If you're not there, don't stress about it. Just post, and post consistently. I would say the third thing that I want to talk about is stories. So if I said that there were 2 important things to your Instagram to do today, it would be 1, post, and post consistently. If that's once a week, that's once a week. The second thing would be Instagram stories. And the third thing would be your hashtags. So what are stories? Stories are these things. When they click on it, they can click through what you're doing. Okay. So if your post is the magazine, your stories are behind the scenes of what you're doing on a daily basis. So here's what I will say about that. My aim personally is to post 8 times a day in stories. Quick snippets. Today I reposted. I get notes from the universe. I don't know if you guys have that email. I get notes from the universe, and I just kind of give an abbreviated version and I make a post out of that. I might talk about meeting with new agents. I might talk about working on this presentation last night. I might talk about taking a picture with my daughter. It's really just kind of simple things that you're going about and doing in your day as an agent. So here's why I aim for 8. Because when somebody is on the gram and they are biding their time during quarantine, you have all these people up at the top that have stories that people are sitting there in bed at night on their phone, clicking through all this. And they're just watching what people are doing. And if something interesting catches their eye, they're going to go to your profile. So my rule of thumb is that you never want your circle up here at the top to not be quote unquote lit. So if you notice, some of these circles have like a ring around them. That means they have an active story that they've posted within the last 24 hours. And if you post 8 periodically throughout the day, that is going to always be lit. The story disappears in 24 hours. You always want that to be lit throughout the day. And then the other trick I have for this is, let's not reinvent the wheel, okay? If you're posting once a week, then let all of your stories be about whatever it is you were talking about in that post. So let's say you posted about, maybe it's today you posted about home buying, right? Because maybe you have a house that is currently on the market. You posted that in your feed. So you made a post out of that. Then in your stories, just talk about home buying. You can literally do 8 little snippets of you talking about the home buying process. You know the process. Talk to people about what that process looks like. Step 1, get pre-approved. Step 2, call me. Step 3, those are literally 8 posts that you can do in the day, and you're done. You're done with your stories, you're done with your post. Okay? And that's all I got for you. So I know that was a lot. So let's take a look at the questions and see what I can help with.
Cory, how important is it to, I mean, I know followers are important, but what's the best way? I mean, can I go buy followers, or do I want to organically grow my followers? I'm like, I don't have very many followers.
Yeah. So you know what, Todd, I really am not a fan of buying followers, because they really are people that don't care about your stuff. They don't care. Because ultimately what your goal is conversion, right? So you want to, or I think it's best to organically find people in your market that you care about and that care about you and what you post and your value, right? So for me, you have huge value, Todd, in your coaching and adding people to your team, right? So you want to go out specifically and look for agents. So you, and maybe your demographic isn't my demographic, right? But you want people to learn to know, like, and trust you. And so you kind of have to engage with them. So I think it's best to, and that's a long conversation about how we go out and get followers. But basically it's about knowing, liking, and trusting other people and seeing value in them and bringing them in, drawing them in. But you can pay. You can absolutely pay.
Do followers happen organically? I mean, just by posting more often, you
Yep,
find people find
absolutely.
you because you've posted a lot?
Yeah, absolutely. The algorithm wants you to, the algorithm of Instagram wants people to stay on the app. So the more content that you are delivering that are allowing people to be interested and stay on the app, the more they're going to be, oh, Todd's posting some cool stuff and people seem really interested in his stuff. We're gonna bump him up. We're gonna make sure that if you go to the search, the little magnifying glass at the bottom, here's all the stuff, Todd, that's trending on Instagram. So if you start trending, meaning that people are watching you, people are sharing, people are saving your stuff, you're going to get put in here. And when we all run out of stories to watch, we're going to go here and be like, what's this cool thing? Oh, my easy therapy. You are overreacting. Now, some of these are sponsored. Some of these people have paid for, right? But some are just getting 31,000 likes on this post of some chick and her dog, right? So the algorithm is going to basically say, here's some cool stuff that's going on because other people are liking it, and we're going to put you on this featured page. All right, questions. How do I get pictures to stay on the screen for more than 5 seconds? That's a good question. I don't know the answer, but I will find out, Janet. You mean when you're in stories, like, oh, you just hold it like that, you mean, or when you want to actually make the story stay longer?
No, like my daughter-in-law will send a picture of my granddaughter, and she'll write some little comment on it, and before I can even finish reading the comment, it's moved on.
Just press and hold. So here I am talking yesterday. So I'm talking. If I want to stop and read something, I just press it with my finger.
Okay, thank you.
Can you go backwards?
Can you go backwards?
Yeah, you can go backwards, but you just can't make, but then it'll last 5 seconds.
Yeah. So to go backwards, you just have to, it's kind of like a Kindle. If you ever used an e-reader, you just want to press on, like, as close to the edge of the left or the right to go backwards and forwards. It's a little tricky sometimes. So if you get frustrated, just keep trying. You'll eventually get the hang of it. Can you schedule stories, Wendy? I believe so, but I would say don't. But I believe so. I think I use, I really recommend Planoly, Plan OLY. I really like Planoly a lot for scheduling. I believe you can schedule stories.
Does Planoly cost money, and is it only with Instagram, or does it cross over to other platforms?
Planoly does cost money. I believe they have a free trial, or I believe one account is free. Unfortunately, Planoly only supports Pinterest and Instagram, and it's the best. Like, I love the interface a lot, but unfortunately, I want something with a little more robustness. And so I've been using Later, Later, later.com, but I don't love it as much as I love Planoly. So I'm kind of trying to figure out, do I really care about Facebook, right? Like, I just preached to you that you should spend your time using wherever your demographic is, you know? But I mean, let's be honest, it's free advertising, right? Like, it's free marketing. So if you can figure it out and not let it take too much time for you, why wouldn't you use it? So why wouldn't you use both platforms? But Facebook is just bugging me in general lately, like, especially just in the past with their issues of privacy and data. Like, but it's owned by the same company as Instagram is. So I don't know, go figure, right? So, yeah, guys, I love Planoly, but Later will give you the option for both. So.
Do you use the part where you can post on Facebook and it automatically goes to Instagram?
You know, I've gotten mixed feelings about this. I would just say, like, we don't have all day. We have stuff to do in our lives, right? I don't really think it matters, but here's the thing with Instagram, you post hashtags in your post. And so you kind of, I think, look a little bit like a dummy if you're posting on Facebook with those same hashtags, because the hashtags don't matter to Facebook. Like, they're just not platform appropriate. So go ahead if you want to. You know, one platform that does give you a little more flexibility that I really love is Loomly, Loomly. Loomly will allow you to do two different things, and it really helps you know what you should do on Instagram versus what you should do on Facebook as far as like content, right? It'll say on the Facebook side of things, like, this is too long, because Facebook wants it like picture, short and sweet. And Instagram will allow you to a little more fluidity of like your post. And then Mitch asked, how do you create and publish a hashtag? So Mitch, in your comment, so it's a great question. So in your comment, when you go to create your post and you create a comment,
okay,
you just add it to the end.
is that the plus sign?
Nope. Oh, yeah. Yep. So let's say I'm going to post this, right? I just plus, and I click next, then I click next, then I write the caption. So blah, I'm so cool. I'm Mitch, and I'm your agent.
Right?
What?
It could be anything, right?
Yeah, like, I'm Mitch. I'm your agent. If you want to buy or sell real estate in Las Vegas Valley, hashtag I'm cool. Hashtag whatever.
So nobody owns a hashtag.
Nobody owns hashtags, but a lot of people use hashtags. And if you are one of the first users and you incite people to use that hashtag a lot, you kind of essentially own it. So what happens when you go, and like I said, you're about ready to go down a rabbit hole, but you asked. So if you search, you can search anything in this search. So if you search a hashtag like Las Vegas homes, let's say, right? Las Vegas homes, it'll say right under it how many hashtags it has, right? 67,400 posts have used Las Vegas homes. Now, do you think that if someone is searching for Mitch, they're going to find you in a sea of 67,000 people? No. So there's this algorithm, or this game that we play with hashtags that you kind of want to, and I'm starting to think more about this as I'm using them. So I feel like use them, track your data, look at the data, and then figure out which ones you want to keep and which ones you don't. It's hard in real estate because most of what you think people are going to search for in real estate are already like high volume hashtags. And so you kind of want to find ones that are below, like for people to really find you and be like, hey, Mitch is cool. Like, I like his vibe. I like what he's doing. He's a handsome dude. I want to follow him, right? You want people to like get to you. So you kind of have to find some niche hashtags that people in Vegas are using a little bit, but not overusing to the place or to the point where they can't find you. So like I said, it's a rabbit hole that took me probably a week, maybe more, to find those 60 hashtags, and they're all not great. And I'm realizing that in my second quarter of really focusing in on hashtag use. Katie started doing these Costco Chronicles, which I think are hilarious, and they're funny, and she's good, and her Instagram is amazing. She's rebranded, she's using her branding well. But it's niches like that are make you interesting to people, and you can use that hashtag. It can be just yours, and the more you use it, the more it trends, right? And so if it trends and people start following that, Instagram has an algorithm that they're like paying attention to that, right? And so
that's why you post 8 times a day, right? So that, right?
yeah, I mean, really, you just want eyes on your page. Like I said, Instagram's goal is to keep people on the app. So if you're keeping people on the app because you're delivering great content and people are staying on the app, and then they're connecting to, maybe you're like, hey, Todd taught me this thing this week. And so then you're connecting people to Todd, right? And then they're staying on the app because they're looking at Todd's stuff. And then Todd's like, Cory taught me how to post, I don't know, whatever. And then they go to my page, right? So you're keeping people on the app so they're not like, oh, this is boring, I'm going to go over to Facebook, right? Or this is boring, I'm going to go paint by number, right? So that's their goal. And if you're contributing to their goal, the algorithm is going to present your stuff to people more often, quicker, more readily.
There's a question from Wendy.
Since this is advertising, what do we need to have in a profile to be in compliance? This is a good question, or a good segue into bios, which we call, this is that portion up here. And yeah, I agree. I think, I know that the division doesn't have any, like, you know, they don't know what's going on Instagram, but I would say, like, it's an ethics issue for me, right? Like, full disclosure, just be who you are.
So there's quite a bit of room there. You can put about anything you want, it looks like.
Yeah, absolutely. There is a lot of room. And I think that, you know, I changed this up to put realtor at the top. Las Vegas was important. So you have like a tagline. That's kind of helpful. I also, you know, I love who I love too, right? So, like, of course, I personally want to put signature in there. And what's your goal here? Your goal is to capture leads with Instagram, right? That, like, we're not just doing this for fun. We're not doing it for poops and giggles, right? Like, I have a lot of other things that I'd rather do with my time. So if this is lead gen, where do you want to drive people? And use links to drive them to capture data. So my link tree, which a link tree allows you to put a link in your profile that will give you multiple options for people to link to. But if you know you're only data capturing, then the link should probably be the link to your website or our signature website, where the first thing they basically do to access the website is give their email address, first and last name. So,
so let me ask this question.
yeah,
I think I understand the hashtag and have the whole hashtag thing, and I have for some time. I've got young daughters that are on the gram all the time. Here's my challenge. You got to have like 60, like you said, you got like 60 hashtags, right? I'm not typing out 60 hashtags. So where do you store them? How do you get them from the stored place into your post? Because it seems like it's a real pain to go get those things, come back into the post and paste.
You're right. Okay, here's two things for you. Number one, I use 30. However, there are experts who say that the algorithm says that 6 is the magic number.
6?
6, but 6, yeah. But here's my thing. Maybe I'm a dummy, okay, whatever. And maybe I'm going to change my game in a few months, right? But if I get 30 opportunities to capture an audience, wouldn't I use all 30? Now, if the algorithm is going to kick me down because I'm using more than 6, then maybe I'm going to change my game. I might change my game quarter 2 or quarter, what are we in? Quarter 2, quarter 3. I might change my game in quarter 3 and kick it down to 6, Todd, and see if I get more actions taken from my posts, more likes, more, I don't know. But if you are overwhelmed by 30, you can just use 6. Now, here's what I do. If you use a scheduling website, you can store all of your hashtags in that website, and then you can just cut and paste them into your copy, right? But if you're like, I do this always from my phone, which a lot of people do because they want to be organic, right? They want to post in the moment, and they're like, I'm on the run, I'm at a house, I can take a picture of me in front of this house and be organic. I just store them in my notes on my phone, and I put them right here. So I have them all in here, and I literally just have them broken down by categories, and then I copy and paste them depending on the post. So if the post is, I'm in a house that has horrible tile, right? My post might be hashtag home problems, hashtag home projects, hashtag home updates, hashtag home goods, right? So it's relevant to that post. I just copy and paste it. And then because I'm an overachiever and I want people to find me, I might do another set of tags, right? I might do my title tag, which is hashtag West Coast Realtor, hashtag Vegas real estate agent, et cetera, because I want them to find me and know what I do and that they can use me if they're looking for an agent. So copy and paste is my friend.
Okay, so in notes, Wendy wants to know if you put white space between your content and your hashtags.
So the reason that you see that is that hashtags the algorithm captures them if they're in your content and if they're in your copy, right? So people use little dots to separate the content of their copy from the hashtags because you still want it together. The reason hashtags were created was because they wanted people to use it inside, like really inside the copy, like, hey, I'm Mitch, hashtag cool realtor. I'd love to help you find your next home in Las Vegas. So it was used to be in copy before, and now people have seen that there's so much return on investment with hashtags that they want to add a lot. And so a lot of people, in order to keep it in the copy, use like a ... emoji and then keep it in that, that original post.
Yes, and so that makes it a part of the content, which is, and it also has white space, and white space on the internet is attractive because it appears that you have more content than you actually really have.
Right.
And it causes people to click on so it's big on Facebook because you'll see it says see more at that. You'll put in all your content and then it says see more, and you get engagement because people click on the see more to see what's down below the dots.
Yeah, can you teach me a class on that? Because that's what I'm currently trying to figure out on Facebook.
Yeah, that's just you just explained it. Just do it.
Yeah,
Right?
I guess my question is like, so is there a certain number of characters before it says see more? I don't know that.
Yes.
What is it? 140?
No, it's not that much.
Okay.
I don't know the
So
number.
I think we were talking about Loomly earlier, Wendy. I think Loomly takes that into consideration, and that's why they say keep it short, because I think then it's capturing all of that on the first line. But I
Cory,
haven't figured that out.
Two quick questions. Spell Loomly and also spell Planaloy for me.
Yeah, it's Loomly, and then Planily is plan,
Ly.
Oly. Oh,
Oh, you're
Planoli. I mean, honestly, Todd, it's ROI, right? You're a numbers guy. Like, are you getting good ROI on that?
No.
You know, here's the thing, Todd. Like, I feel like,
But let me be clear. For me, it's exposure for my team. It's not about Todd Barton, right? So
exactly.
am I getting a return? I mean, I'm just getting exposure. That's all. I got a bunch of people that are following me, and so I'm not looking necessarily to get a deal from it. And I think
Yeah.
most of you are looking for clients through. And so for me, a constant 3 times a week, twice on the same day, 3 times, so 6 posts a week, that are all very professionally done, has value.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, it's all about what you have capacity for too, right? Like, and what you enjoy doing. I'm imagining you don't enjoy posting on Instagram, right? So I think it's okay. Just be where you're at, Todd. Like, I would even say that if for those of you are not sure, like just be where you're at. Look at your numbers. And if the numbers make sense, like here's the thing, you could hire different people, Todd. You could hire someone that knows you and knows your voice and knows how to make copy that sounds like Todd, right? And I would imagine that might get more traction, right? You could hire someone to take content photos of you and your team. Like there's so much that you can do with that. But I think what it comes down to at the end of the day is what makes sense for your business.
Janet, what did you have?
Oh, I just wanted to tell Cory, thank you. This was so very informative. We've never had a PowerPoint other than the listing contract on any of our 1030 calls. And so I understand it better. And now I can look at my granddaughters longer. So I thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
Thank you, Cory, so very much.
Hey guys,
Okay.
bye. Have a good day.
Thank you.